also like bringing the combination of the femininity, elegance, but both of the ladies are also on the bigger, size. So I think they're perfect bodybuilders. Women physique, I'm not sure. I mean, at this moment, I always like Natalie Coelho because she's having the extra. I always think that women physique should be more about the shape rather than the conditioning, while bodybuilding is all out. I kind of don't like that judges now pushing so much hardness and conditioning in the women physique, because to me, women physique now looks more like a smaller bodybuilding versus bigger bodybuilding with the bodybuilders. As I said, like I prepared for both shows. I prepared for female bodybuilding and women physique, and I prepared absolutely the same because there was just a big difference between the competitions. And I would say that I was one of the more. I was definitely smaller. I did sacrifice. I had some health problems, and I definitely did sacrifice some of my muscle mass. So I was on the smaller side as a bodybuilder. That was why I was placing low as a bodybuilder. Was my size, not the conditioning. Conditioning wise, in the bodybuilding, I was one of the more conditioned girls there. And then I came to women physique, and I was good condition for women physique, but there were girls who were harder than me. Mm-hmm. So that means that they were way harder and more conditioned than female bodybuilders. And I think that, I still think personally that it shouldn't be this way. So I go more about the shape rather than the size in female physique. I really like Natalie because she's having that crazy X frame, the big lats, tiny waist. Sarah, I mean, like, she's good, but her physique is more like streamlined. I would rather see Natalie winning, shape-wise.
Well, she won the year before last. That was 2022, and then Sarah, I think they were told her to come in softer, and then she made that choice to come in softer, and then that's how Natalie came in and win. And we talked about this. We did a live stream. We talked about how the physique division is getting to a point where it's starting to look more like women's bodybuilding, where if you can't tell the difference just about sometimes you see some physique girls.
When I was live, I've seen that the ladies in physique, they were definitely smaller. I was on the smallest size as a bodybuilder. I've seen my size difference between the biggest girls, the top girls, and myself. At the physique, I fitted more in size-wise. But as I said, what it takes, the prep and the conditioning was completely the same for physique and for bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would almost say that physique is now small bodybuilding. You know how they once divided Olympia into two classes in 2000 something. Class. So now it almost seems like women physique is the small class and then bodybuilding is the big class.
I remember because they did that where they had lightweight class for women's bodybuilding and heavyweight. And that was the year you had two champions for the first year. You had two champions for you had Andrina Bachet and Valentinovic. After that they stopped. They did have the weight classes, but then you became the overall champion. Because Iris became the overall champion. But after that, after that first show, it was Juliet Bergman who became the overall champion. And then after that, it was Iris next to not Iris, Linda for the next two shows. Then Iris, got the title. And then it was, I think it was 2005 when Yaxina O'Keefe, who was a lot more bigger than Iris, won the title. We have here a comment here. Shout out to my man Dennis Espinoza. Shout out to Dennis. He said, I call him the Warden of the West. He says, "Go George." Yeah, thank you, brother. That is my man Dennis Espinoza, Hannah King, Warden of the West. And, I am a fan of Andrea. I talk about her often. A while back, a friend of mine was at the Olympia last year. She got me this magazine, the Muscle Development. And this is something I love. This is why I love this content and talk about you ladies. The hard work I put in this, she signed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she signed it. I mean, and, I would love to meet her someday. I would love to get to meet her and talk to her and just, she's really, like I said again, she's amazing. Sarah, I think she's doing good works in bodybuilding, like she promotes shows like
she's amazing with the promotion of the women physique. She does the stuff in Texas. She's having the special trophy for the women physique girls. That's amazing work.
Yeah, and also, Andrea Whitney Jones, Cindy Gillen got the Triple O Dynasty, and that's in Arizona, so that's not too far for you. Think about maybe, they have women's physique division, and you're doing women's physique now. Think about maybe take a shot at that show next year.
I actually was thinking this will be my final shows, to be honest.
Well, I
Um,
understand.
you know, the thing is, I was not very emotional. I was always very rational about my competing. I always have pros and cons. As I said, like I work in a casino, I don't work in fitness. So I have to take days off my job, cannot do anything else. Basically, have to save my off days for my competitions. I have to be budgeting for the sport. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm not having any endorsements, anything. So there's the financial side of the sport, and also there is the health, part of the sport. You can only push your body a certain way, and I was always when I was competing, I was having limits, like what I'm willing to do for which class. For example, if I would have to diet and sacrifice so much I did this season for the pro level in the local season, in the local level, I wouldn't do that, because for the local level it wouldn't be worth it. For the pro level it's worth it, you know. And I mean, as I said, like I didn't expect placing, top five or something in my first season, because I think it's as a rookie, it's kind of rookie tax, and you have to understand that when you're coming from the amateur side, you always have competitors which are great, then you have some competitors which are okay, and then you have some competitors which are not okay. So you have a variety of the bodies, variety of the conditionings, variety of the shapes, sizes. In pro level, everybody is a winner. So nobody. I don't like even to talk who is my favorite or not, because everybody on the pro level is good. Everybody on the pro level had to win the major shows. So that means that they are not mediocre or bad competitors anymore. The differences between different ladies are so small that even the smallest details, like eye contact, color of your suit, how you move on the stage, takes a detail, makes difference. These details make a difference between the placings, because when you have the bodies which are so similar in conditioning, elegance, size, then you have to go by the details, who will place better or how, not better. As a rookie, you always have disadvantage. You're not so known. You're coming first time. Maybe, as I said, like I don't have anybody like behind me, no sponsorship or no big company, no big couch. I'm training myself. So I didn't expect that they will look at me and I will go, top five or something. I did expect like I will be last call out. And as I said, like I actually placed better than I expected.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at it, honestly, can I push harder and be better a little bit? Of course I can. I think now in women physique, what limited me is that I didn't have so deep abs and so big back thickness, the back details, which were holding me back. I can improve it. Yes, I can. But if I would be pushing even harder, what would be my placing in pro level? I think I may push and be top five. Yes, maybe. But will I be winning? I don't think so. I don't think that I have my genetics on that level to be winning shows and to be striving for the Olympia and being the best, and putting my money and my days off and also putting my health on the line to be top five, six, in the middle of the starting field in the pro. I don't think it's worth it for me.
Well,
And I will not hide that during this prep, I did have some major health complications, and I think I'm blessed that I was able to finish my prep and show myself as it was. And I said, like with my conditioning and how I showed myself and how I presented myself, I am very happy. But I was competing, and now I can say all my injuries and stuff. I didn't say it too much before the show because I didn't want judges to focus on the injured side and say, "Oh yeah, we can see it." But now I can say it. I actually torn my left meniscus in my left knee, the MCL
mm,
size. So I was wearing a brace for a majority of my prep. I couldn't train my legs and I couldn't do dynamic cardio, which would help me, to bring back even more conditioning. And then just 3 weeks before the competitions, I was having some kind of flu, and after this flu, of course, I was training through because it was so close to the competitions. As a competitor, you sometimes have to do what you have to do. Competitors sometimes push through flu and through, different illnesses. They modify the training, they still push through. But I started having heart problems actually, and I was having tachycardia. That means that my heart rate, my resting heart rate was very high, about 130 in resting. So I had to go to the doctor. I'm still waiting for the cardiology examination. And basically 2 weeks before competitions, I started to taking pills for my heart, beta blockers. And at the moment when you have a heart problems as a bodybuilder, you have to be extremely cautious what you do. I had to be extremely cautious the last 2 weeks before the competitions, because I didn't want to end up as a statistic. I didn't want to end up like, hey, she had cardiac arrest at 46 years old preparing for the competition.
Well, I can tell you if somebody
They think that it might be sometimes when you have a virus and you train, it can mess up your heart. I also had some problems, like my electrolytes were a little bit off, which we were able to fix. Currently, it's better. I don't have the problems that much, but yeah, I have to fix first everything.
Yeah, I can tell you this because you know what, I have a pacemaker. It's gonna be 10 years this October since I had a pacemaker, and I had that because I got it when I wasn't even 40 yet when I got it. I was just 39, and I can tell you, yeah, I'm right now. I'm gonna be 50 in November. I have issues with my knees, my hips. I've worked most of my life, and I can understand that it's important for your health and for your life and your well-being. I mean, it was a great opportunity to see you compete and make your pro debut, and you look great.
I'm not saying never say never. I always said I quit, and then 2 years after I show somewhere. So I'm not saying that it's definitely end, but at this moment, the stuff I would have to do financially, time-wise, health-wise, doesn't give a sense for me. What I would get for it if I continue competing.
Yeah.
So there was a little talk, like my husband is competing on amateur level. He was thinking maybe in 2 years try to do the Pittsburgh, the Masters show in Pittsburgh. So it's about a 2-year time frame at this moment. So I was like, maybe, if he will be preparing there and I will be going with him anyway, I may jump into the Masters world because they have the pro levels there. They have more of the age classes there for professionals. They don't have just one age class. They have, I think, like 40, 45, 50, 55, different classes. So I could hop in my age class. So that's a maybe, a maybe, but definitely at least for a year I need to take off, and I need to check what's going wrong with my knee, and definitely have to fix the heart problems.
Yeah, that thing is, take care of yourself first. The sport's always going to be here. Me, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a race; it's a marathon. And you fix your heart, you fix your knee, you get the help you need. If you need like one thing, if you need sponsorship, if guys out there, if you're interested in sponsoring Lada, and that does help these ladies. I mean, sponsorship is no more than maybe just something to help her in her prep or in her training. Reach out to her with genuine interest. But guys, and this is no offense to Lada, guys, don't do this. Don't send no D pics. Stop it. Don't be, she's a lovely lady. I know you guys get some see ladies all pumped and muscular, but have some respect for you and her. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna jump into a social